Yeah, no, this is...
So that's way better. You're going to be able to heel and toe now.
Yeah, so that'll be the other thing. I still never, I could never figure that out with as jacked up as I was in there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to saving the transmission a little bit more.
Hey guys, welcome back to the JPM Performance channel. Today is the day we are going to fit Steven Simons into his new chassis. He's going to be here in the next few minutes, and we're going to kind of go over fitting him and his seat into a Miata, and kind of how we're going to design the roll cage and kind of get everything lined out for him. We'll kind of go over some of that in detail as we're doing it. You'll kind of be able to see the way that I like to discuss fitment procedure with a driver into a new car. So let's get after it.
Yeah, it kind of checked all the boxes. It wasn't crazy expensive. And it was wide enough, which was also kind of my worry.
Yep, it's wide enough.
That front.
So what we'll end up doing is cutting it. I think I had to do this on your dad's too. I had to cut the seat just a little bit.
Okay.
Right here, because there's not enough room.
Yeah, to get all the way down.
Yeah, ideally it would go all the way down. And it's not right now. So, fix for that. Probably going to cut some of this too, so that we don't get into it right here. some of this down. That's nonsense with that whole axle thing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's annoying.
with his, we were able to pop one side out and then go through, you know, with a big extension and pop out the other side. I couldn't get either of mine out, so.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just nuts. Okay,
I think we're gonna try stock axles for a bit and see if they last.
see how it goes.
Yeah. That's what little Bill runs, and we figure if he doesn't break them, then we should be okay.
Yeah, it's just, you know, those drive shaft shop axles are supposed to be better.
Right.
Not if you can't get them in and out, though. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Now we got something. All right. Pull that down there like that. So that's right against the back of the bottom. And obviously that's right against the back. I would prefer to not be all the way back there, but
Sure.
what we're gonna do is get you in here. I want to be that way as far as possible. I'm gonna mark the front of the seat, and then I will mark the angle right here between the belts.
Okay.
And that'll kind of give me what we need. So grab your helmet, stick it up here for now. We don't quite need it for what we're doing, but hop on in there. I would imagine that that probably feels better already.
It already does.
Significantly.
Yeah.
So how do you like the angle? Because I can come back, so your butt's all the way back.
Right.
I can come back to, say, there, unless you don't want to be that far back. Grab your steering wheel and see what you think. I'm gonna get a ratchet strap to hold that up too. 'Cause that's obviously a little low. Now I might be able to get you a tick further back if we raise you up. I want to keep you as low as possible.
Yeah, keep my big head out of the wind as much as possible.
you're already sitting plenty high, you know? Like at this point, I may still raise that windscreen a tick once we get everything else bolted on. Okay. So, about like that. And I can get an extension. Yeah, I mean, how far back do you like it? So I always, like if you put out your arms straight here, I'll hold the wheel.
Okay.
I want my wrists to just go around the back, which is, yeah, like that.
Okay.
Like, so that's pretty close. Now, height-wise, that's about where it would be if we left it here. I can go up some.
Yeah, it may just give me a little bit more knee clearance.
About right. Does that feel better than the other car, I'm assuming?
Yeah, actually, honestly, the wheel in the other car, we got pretty damn good.
Did you?
Yeah, so you know, as far as that goes, I don't have any complaints. So, yeah.
Well, it could be that the wheel obviously is going to be in the same spot.
Right.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld a plate onto here, and I'm going to weld up to here. So I have to get your column height. Now I'm assuming your other, I hate to assume,
It's got
your other
this.
column has this
Yes,
plate. So
yeah,
so I want it to bolt right on.
Right.
So even if you don't use this one, the plate is still welded here.
Yeah.
So you think that's going to work pretty well right there?
Yeah, I think, you know, any higher, I may be
Maybe a little high.
shoulders up. So. Yep.
Okay. So as far as the seat goes, what do you think about that?
Just get some.
I mean, your knees had to have been more cramped than that. Like, step on that gas pedal all the way down.
Yeah, no, this is.
So that's way better. You're gonna be able to heel and toe now.
Yeah, so that'll be the other thing. 'Cause I still never, I could never figure that out with as jacked up as I was in there.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to saving the transmission a little bit more.
What do you think about that angle right there?
Yeah, I think it feels good. It's already way more of an incline than I had. I mean, that aluminum seat's just bolted straight to the floor in the other one. So, I mean, I was straight up. This definitely feels more comfortable, more natural.
Yeah. So that's about 83. 83.5 degrees versus 90. Okay. So I want to try and get this seat basically where it's sitting on the floor. But as you can see, a little tricky to get hands in there to put some bolts in, right?
Right.
So we have to come up with something tricky to make that work. Because otherwise you're going to sit up higher than that. You don't really want to be up any higher than that. I'll bet.
No, this, I mean, this is still higher than I was, and I did. So one thing I noticed, and I had never had an issue before, was I felt like I was too low. I would find myself kind of peeking up over the the high speed, high
Or
G
was it the
stuff.
windscreen that was the issue?
I don't think so, because I mean it was, it was basically flat up against us. I mean we had about an inch block on top of that, poking it up.
Well, here, grab your helmet and just set it down over there. Normally, I'm actually meant to get this done. Oftentimes, it'll sit pretty level, like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it doesn't have to be up.
Right.
It's all about your height. So this is our next critical thing, is to know at what angle you want this. But see, you need to see the your dash too.
Right.
How easy are you seeing down inside there?
Oh yeah, I mean I can see
You can
above
see no problem.
yeah, above that.
You
the
can
main
see
tube.
all of it. You can see up here.
Yep.
And that is at, so you have to kind of pick your height you want. So we can, I mean, to me, you want it as low as possible.
Right.
And then you put a gurney flap on it to get the air to come up and
Deflect
over you.
over the helmet. Yeah.
And you can change the height of your gurney flap real easy. But what we can't change is what we're doing here, because I'm going to have standoffs coming off of everything to get this set.
I mean about this feels
Pretty good.
feels pretty good. You can see everything. It's not sticking way up in the air.
Give you a little better perspective being lower.
Yeah, I believe anything you want.
Okay, grab that wheel again. Okay, so this was actually is that to the top? Just a bit.
Yep.
All right, so the critical thing is that you can see that dash through that
Right.
wheel. So if it's sitting right here, you should be able to see it okay.
Yeah, I've got a pretty good view. I mean, I can see.
Well, and I want to get it pretty close to your wheel.
Right.
The further away it is, the harder for you to see, because this line of vision shrinks.
Sure.
You know, if something was way out here and you're having to look through there. So what I'm going to need to do is drum up a template so I make sure that I make it big enough. Oh, Eric's got the same size dash. He's got the exact same one. Okay. Let's see. Top. Okay. Okay, we're good there.
Okay.
So now you're sitting in there, okay? I'll use this for something. I mean, this is a huge panel. So, like for switches.
Yeah, and that had everything. I mean, it had the switches, the fire bottle here, the
Put it all right in here.
right.
You reach that okay right there?
Oh, yep.
Easily enough.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't want it to get too close to the shifter.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can probably even push it back an inch just to give me a little extra room. I mean, it's one good thing about being so big is I can reach things.
You can
that
reach everything.
most people can't.
Okay. So if that was sitting there like that, we'd be okay.
Yep.
He can make, so I'll make the bracket for this, and then he can make another panel
Sure.
just to go on that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you've got your mirror.
Yeah, so center mirror, and then this is obviously just something we fabricated. The stem on this thing was like 6 inches
Oh,
long.
I know.
So
This is sitting literally, you know, how far over do you like it?
I think it was pretty centered in the other car.
Normally you wouldn't want it that
Yeah.
centered. So I would push it that way as much as you're comfortable
Yeah, I
with.
will kind of defer to your best judgment on that. I don't know that I ever got real comfortable with the mirror placements, to be honest. So if
Is
we can come
that
up with
height
something-
okay? I mean, this height on this mirror? I mean, it might go up to here,
Right.
but this is about the same height as you had. But for instance, if you're looking through this thing, you want to be able to see out the back.
Sure.
So normally I would put it pretty far over here,
Okay.
but I'll do whatever you prefer.
No, that looks, yeah, that feels good. It's-
So you want to be able to see out here as much as possible.
Right. And it's still, kind of within my peripheral. If I just want to take a quick glance, I can get to it.
Yeah. And it's convex, so you're good there. Now, as far as side mirrors go, what do you want to run for those?
So I've got just one on the left here that mounts like where the stock mirror
Or the
goes.
stock on the stock door?
Right.
Okay.
So we should be fine there.
All right.
I'll get those. I definitely want to do something that'll kind of brace it a little bit better. With when you cut the door out, it vibrated quite a bit. So I'll do something to make it.
Well, the other thing you can do, because you're going to have an intrusion bar that's going to come into here like this, just above the door. You can mount something maybe to it, although generally that's going to come right under the windscreen, and then the door's going to be right here. So try to not make the door so flimsy,
Right.
is what you're saying, right?
Well, do what we got to do. It's something I could definitely we can figure out. I just
Okay.
knew it was something I was going to do on the new one. So.
On my car, all I've got is a little spot mirror.
Mhm.
It sits just right here if I want to see a spot. I use my center mirror for everything. And if you're paying attention to what's going on, it kind of self-lays out. Like
Right.
if you're, I'm not saying to stare in your mirror all the time, because you don't want to do that, but if you are coming out of a corner and you're watching, and
Right.
then you know what's around you.
Mhm.
So it's all about being aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
okay.
Awesome. And I've got, I grabbed the Haltech. I'm gonna go ahead and just part out that DP car because I want that Haltech. So I don't have the fuse box though, because obviously it's wired to the DP car. So
Yeah.
got that, so we can fabricate something to put that on.
So
and
need
then,
something for that and something for the fuse box, and I can just measure it.
Okay. Yeah, it just looked like 2 by. I mean, it was just. A
Yeah,
rectangle,
y'all just
so.
measure mine or Eric's or somebody's.
And obviously I'll have to get another box of wiring. Is it? Do you just use the blank wiring harness? You the one? Do they have one specific?
I buy
for
the one
NA?
that's called the premium harness.
Okay.
Because it's all one piece.
Sure.
If you're wanting a new harness.
Right.
And it's got the fuse box built in.
Right.
Now the ends are still, you have to terminate them.
Right. Yeah, that's what I got for the DP car when I did that, but I had a guy wire it, so it's that one's pretty much useless. So I'll have to get a new one for this one, but that's fine. I just want to make sure I get the right one.
Yeah, just for an Elite 1500
Yeah.
premium harness, you'll be fine. All right, so next is our main hoop. Main hoop height. So here's where I need your helmet on you.
No, okie dokie.
This is gonna be too tall right now, but, oh yeah, it's gonna be way too tall. I wanted to make sure we had some room, because I can cut this down and so I'm gonna make this to where, well, you are sitting kind of tall there actually. I want to make this to where it's going to be, your seat's going to sit right up to it. All right. I'm going to have you hold on to this, just like that. Basically set it on your helmet. There you go. Kind of sitting comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how tall your hoop is in the car you're in now. How far off the back deck it is. Suppose you could measure that for me.
Yeah. Well, this one, it went all the way down to the floor.
Yeah, I'm just talking about how high it is off of this rear deck, off this rear shelf.
Sure. Yeah, we can get that.
Okay, so I'm gonna cut this a little bit. I'm gonna cut this down just a tick. After I make sure it's level. I'm gonna run this as slow as we can. Okay, next minute. Well, there's our height. Okay, here, I'll take that. And actually, I mean, what they tell you you're supposed to do, you're supposed to be running.
Right.
Although, if this cowling crushes, you got a lot bigger problems. So, that's not going to happen. Okay, you can take that off. We'll compare heights here. Yeah, why don't you hop out a second? Hop around over to the other side. So the way this is going to be sitting, it's going to be, see how your seat's just a tick behind it?
Right.
That's the way that's going to ride right there. Hold her right there. So that's 27 7/8 off. Let's go ahead and lay that down. 27 7/8. So to give you an idea, like what Eric says. So we'll stick with that as the main hoop height.
Okay.
Which is going to be just, the other reason why I like to bring them forward, because the further back it is, the higher it's got to be to clear your helmet.
Oh, yep.
So we got to get that main hoop. It's going to be basically straight up and down right here. We'll run it. I'm assuming you want to go halfway down.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll do that, and then our intrusion bars, 6 inches down, back to here. like this. So the beauty is, I'm only gonna have 2 bars to go around when we make that aluminum. That'll be nice.
Yeah, it'd be way easier than the black car. I don't know how you did that. That had
Not
crap
easily.
going everywhere.
Not easily. So, is making that aluminum shelf something I should put on my list for right now too?
Yeah, it'll need to get done.
Probably
so,
get that
Yeah,
done.
we'll just go ahead and knock that out.
Yeah, and that way you guys can paint it or whatever. Okay, so we've got our dash, we've got our steering wheel height, switch panel, and you'll just put everything on it.
Yep.
The Elite, and then another spot for the fuse box. Let's think through this here, make sure we're not forgetting something. So I'm gonna go up to here with 2 braces, one like this, one like that,
Okay.
to support the center of the chassis. These will come up, see these are welded in, those will be up there. Now I'm betting that your other one, the bar came to the floor here, so this is gonna give you a lot more room.
Oh yeah, I had the clutch foot went around and set at an angle like this so I
Yeah.
can get to it. So.
Yeah, so that's gonna be a lot better. Obviously, we'll do some knockout NASCAR bars, which is gonna be tight here. One of them's gonna have to go, of course the seat's not gonna sit exactly right there. But one of them's gonna have to probably, the top one's gonna probably have to pop through here, like this. And then the other one obviously is gonna come off of here. And I'll keep this one fairly shallow, so you have room. And then we'll have our intrusion bar in here. 2 rears, the main. Obviously this is gonna have to come back like this.
Right,
For belts.
Belts, yep.
Yeah. And over. And a brace in there. I know what we're doing.